I'm Shimini Wood and welcome to my weekly Doctor Who review. This week's episode is called Hide. I'd like to apologise for not reviewing this episode sooner on the actual Saturday. I was extremely busy because of a wedding that was going on Saturday, and I was very busy doing my tech report for uni. The deadline was Monday, so I had to focus on it. I had to zone out on it kind of thing. But of course I've got some time now to review this episode and share my thoughts and opinions. So let's talk about Doctor Who episode The Hide. The start of this episode follows the Doctor and Clara turning up at this haunted house mansion within the 70s. They stumble across these two paranormal investigators that are investigating these entities that are going on in this house. Something is there, something spirit is there, existing, and they're trying to figure out what it is, who it is, and how to solve it and how to stop it. And it's generally quite an interesting episode because it tries to play on the scare tactics and tries to go back to kind of old school again with the scares and the creepiness of it. And there's some generally worthwhile scenes, and it actually was a lot better than I was expecting before that. I was expecting maybe just a kind of typical kind of ghost story, but it actually turned to be a lot more than that, and it was a very important episode for the series, I think, definitely, especially what's going on with the Doctor between him and Clara, and yeah, generally quite an interesting episode. And I have to say, 2 weeks of good episodes. Thank you. Funnily enough, this is the same writer as the second episode, which is strange considering how he can do that and how he can do this. Same writer, weird. I don't know, but thank you for delivering a really good episode, I have to admit. I really like the characters in this episode. It's got Doug Scott, he was in Hitman and he was in Death Race 3 Inferno. Two movies that I actually got and enjoy. I like his performance. He's a good British actor and I really enjoyed his performance on this episode, and he definitely delivered a character which I quite liked, and I was definitely rooting for, and there's not a single character in this episode actually I did not like, which is generally quite surprising. You got the woman also from Call the Housewives of the BBC series, but her acting was pretty good also, really good performance, and I really like the sci-fi feels and the kind of the mix between kind of sci-fi and kind of paranormal. It's not massively approached, not hugely. It got a couple of episodes in the old series, like season 1, of course, with the Charles Dickens episode, The Ghosts, but they weren't really ghosts, they were aliens, of course. This one actually plays the high road and actually does something a little bit more different and plays upon the whole idea of like a spirit in a house, like the idea of it. I quite like the pacing of this episode. It had some really fast and intense moments, especially within some of the sections of the episode. Other sections were generally quite slow and atmospheric, and I really wanted the audience to kind of sink into this kind of ghost story in a sense. Really, really well done, and I really like the kind of poltergeist type of second half of the act of the episode, which is really great and definitely adds in a lot more mythology of the Doctor. He mentions the Eye of Harmony, which is going to be a key point, I think, with the next episode. If you watch the Doctor Who movie with I think it was the 8th Doctor, the Eye of Harmony exists, and you're on the heart of the TARDIS, so they'll probably expand about that a bit more, which is really cool. The kind of the foreshadowing of some of the episodes that are to come. I really like the idea that the TARDIS does not like Clara Osborne at all. She just doesn't, the TARDIS just doesn't accept this companion. Something's not quite right about her, and I like the fact the Doctor is still kind of searching for answers, and he was trying still to find, what is Clara, what is she, what does she mean, kind of thing. And I'm thinking there's going to be some really good twists and turns later on in the series, and this episode really establishes kind of the foreground for it, and I think the next episode will do a fantastic job. This episode I thought was really, really well done. First act of the episode was definitely like a kind of a mystery, kind of ghost story. Then the second half was understanding what was going on in this type of this pocket universe, this little mini universe that was destructing something that was going on. And the third act was mainly the events going on between the Doctor and Clara, and the kind of reveals and the twists, which are generally quite good. I really like the ending also. I thought it was like oh, you Romeo kind of thing. I thought it was great. He's typical Matt Smith. He's great performance yet again, of course. It's another great episode yet again because it shows that not all villains, not all creatures and stuff don't have to be villains. They can be misunderstood, they can be reasoned with, they can be just a simple misunderstanding, and this episode does exactly that, and I really, really enjoyed it for that. So that's been my review for the episode called Hide. I hope you enjoyed watching this review. Have you seen the episode? What did you think? Comment down below. What do you think of this series so far? I'd love to know your opinions. So, me, signing out.